Welcome to Sovereign Tarot, where we unite our High Priestess with our Hierophant to create peace, love, and joy in our inner realms through conscious presence. And we begin with A Course in Miracles. This is a reading for Scorpio, all my Scorpios out there, you deep, deep people. Whew, you are a cool sign. I have a special deck for you today that I didn't use with anyone else, I don't think, that I remember. I might have used it in the first one for the collective, but I don't think I used it for any other sign, but it's calling to me for you. And there might be another deck too that I want to use for you. Okay, but A Course in Miracles, Lesson 1. The reason we read A Course in Miracles is because it's also about uncovering your true self, your highest self. So nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Now look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. This cat does not mean anything. This bird does not mean anything. This person does not mean anything. Just let that settle into you. Don't think about it so much. Just let it settle into you. The Course works through you, and it will speak to you if you're interested. Okay. It guided me through my divorce and through my fear. Okay, so we are going to start with, well, we already started with the Course in Miracles, and we're going to take a few cards from the Divine Beloved deck. I'll show you that. And these are prayer cards, so we set an intention or a prayer for our reading. Scorpio. So just tune into yourself. What is your highest intention? Because you affect the reading. The reading affects you, and you affect the reading. I affect you, and you affect me. Oh, we do not want that many cards. But I always say that spirit really wants to talk to you when that happens. Okay. And we got source. We only got one. You are my source. So whatever way that you pray, make this your prayer. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who knows that you are my source. Fill me with confidence and faith, so I know I never have to beg, just gratefully receive. And just look at that waterfall. And I set this out. I don't have a camera for you to see my cards yet. I'm going to be getting that as part of my new business investing in myself. But right now I'm putting it at the very top, and I put it upright, and it's leaning up against a cup. So it frames our whole reading, and it kind of is source coming down and protecting this reading. Okay. So next I like to get a card from the Carolyn Mace archetype cards. Oh, but first what wants to come out is the Wisdom of the Oracle. So we'll do that first. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle. Well, you got a few. So you got You got the never-ending story. Unfinished symphony. That one was upside down, so we'll take the protection message for that. And come to the edge. Okay. I'm going to leave those there for a minute, and I'm just going to get a card from the Furlan Mace archetype cards. You hear that banging? Some hammering. So I'm going to say that you've been working hard at something. You got the Poet card. It's upside down, so that would be maybe the shadow attribute. But I don't want you to think of this. It says, turns a lyric gift to a negative or destructive effect. And the light attributes of it are, expresses the soul, insights in symbolic language. I'm sorry. Okay. Something that you've been working on expressing. Let's just get a little more information about it. You're working hard at something, and I think you need to ask God or Spirit or Source for some help with that. You don't have to beg, just gratefully receive. Oh, you're getting some similar stuff to Libra, the criticism. This says self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. Okay, so you're maybe getting caught up in the world right now. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this. You must not go there. You should not say that, lest your world, okay, it is about speaking, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of that is actually true. Today, know that none of that is actually true. I know I repeated myself. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie. It wants to protect you and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Just allow it to come up and care for it. Say, I see you. I feel you. You're scared. You're afraid of your power. I understand that. You've seen power being abused. Acknowledge it, validate it. What do you need from me right now? And maybe it's just to hold that part of you. Let it know that you are safe. You are being divinely guided and held. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, the small and vulnerable that can be easily soothed. Okay, so you have an unfinished symphony, and that's number 10. So it wants to be finished. It's a number 10, a number of completion. And it's calling you to come to the edge, someplace that you've never been before. To try something new, to try to use your voice. Unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill before you can move forward. It's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur, and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Okay, the protection message is, when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. Okay, so come closer to the edge. Number 36, which is a 9, which is movement, progress, a way of being. I'm turning the symphony right side up now, so we can finish that. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration, not acceleration. It's funny that I said that, right? You ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Express your true self. Express your soul. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. Okay. So I see why we got that first. That was important. Okay. Okay, we're going to do this one next, the Fairy Tale Oracle. Stories are spells, they change things. May they, and the images you encounter in this deck, offer sound guidance for your heroine's journey. Okay. What does the Fairy Tale Heroine Oracle Guidebook, well, no, not the guidebook, the cards. What do they want to tell you? We will use the guidebook, though, because this is a new deck for me. It's by Sharon Blackie. These cards are sticking together. Okay, something's pounding at you, huh? It's like intense. It's like not gonna relent. That's your soul. It's telling you you need to speak up for yourself. You need to speak up. You need to speak up. You need to speak. Your voice needs to be heard. Oh no, we don't want that many cards. This world needs your depth. Okay. What is falling? Okay. Something's falling. All messages in a reading are important. So when we're in a reading, we're in this energy, in this field, And so everything that is in it is for you. So something is falling in your life and you can just let it go. Let it fall. You don't need it anymore. Okay, sorting. So you're sorting. You're sorting through some things. The kiss. Housekeeping. You're cleaning up. And you have the key. Okay, so let's see what these cards want to tell you. This is a very cool deck. In many fairy tales, the task that's set for the heroine is one of sorting. She's usually required to sift through a great pile of mixed seeds and sort it into its various constituents within an impossibly short time frame. In the Roman tale, Cupid and the Psyche, for example, the goddess Venus sets this task for Psyche, and it can only be accomplished with the help of a tribe of compassionate and industrious ants. In some such stories, the heroine's helpers are mice. In others, they are small, fairy-like beings. At several stages along our journey, as we sift and sort through the seeds and grains of our lives, we'll be required to acquire the skill of discernment. Discernment allows us to recognize and then let go of people, situations, and behaviors that no longer serve us. Remember I said something's falling. These stages of our journey can be lonely as we occupy a dark place of unknowing and find ourselves unable to sort out what's happening to us. But we can't solve a sorting task by ourselves. We need the help of others to be able to move forward, others who possess skills and wisdom that might be different from our own, and who can make out the patterns that we haven't yet learned to perceive. So maybe you need a coach or a therapist right now to help you with this. What is this card inviting you to sort through in your own life at this time? Okay, and number 10, the kiss. It's very windy here. And wind for me, maybe for you too, maybe for everyone, I don't know, is symbolic of change. Like there's change coming in. And you feel it in the wind. Change can be scary for us. Right before I did this reading, I was shuffling the cards and I got that card of to relax with the change. It's okay. Change is constant. Change is always happening. We just don't always see it because sometimes changes are so small. But if we pay attention, change is happening all the time. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't usually come out of the blue. If we're paying attention, it doesn't come out of the blue. And if you notice cycles and patterns. Okay, in some versions of Sleeping Beauty, the enchanted princess is awoken from her 100-year-long... Okay, so you might be experiencing an awakening. And I want to say I'm sorry. Because awakenings are freaking hard. But you know what? They're so necessary. And on the other side of them is everything that you wanted. But it's uncomfortable to be in an awakening. It's just like you're between two worlds. And it's this never-ending story. You're letting go of these old cycles, these old stories. But you're going to be seeing some things that you didn't really want to see maybe. But what you're going to realize is that, oh shit, like that was a belief that I held, that I got from somebody that I really don't believe that's true. I need to let go of that. I need to face that and make a different decision. So I'm going to share a little bit for me, like where mine started. And perhaps it started before that, but it was pretty clear to me that it was happening. I was called upon by someone very close to me, or this person was a very close person to me, and I felt a desire to help them. And so I was helping them, but then it became a burden for me. And I recognized that it was becoming a burden for me, and it wasn't supposed to be that way. I thought this person would take the reins of their life and use my gift to them as a way of, you know, like moving forward in their own life, taking their own reins and, you know, but instead they relied on me, they depended on me, and I was told by them and other people in my world that I was the only one that could help them. And I said to myself, that just doesn't seem right. I'm supposed to sacrifice my happiness and joy for somebody else? No, I don't believe that. I don't want that to be my story. I don't want that to be true. But that's what I was seeing in the world. And I just said, no, I do not accept that. I get to be happy. I get to have joy. So, and that was the beginning of my awakening, and that was only one step, and I had to do something that was really hard. I had to hurt somebody that I loved dearly and disappoint them, and what that meant for them was crazy what it meant for them. You know, it was crazy what every fear that I had came true. That person never talked to me. They didn't see their children, and that was supposedly my fault or my responsibility, which no. And they died, and they never talked to me again. And so the worst possible things that could have happened from that situation happened, and yet I still needed to choose me. And then it got even worse. I had to end my marriage. I had to hurt my partner, my husband, and my children to choose myself. So awakenings are not easy. They're not easy, but I chose me. I chose love and my joy. And I believe that gift is going to not just be for me, but it's going to be for the whole world, because I'm giving back. Because I can give back. Before I was depleted. I had nothing left to give anyone. And I was dying. Okay, so your spirit is still pounding on you right now. What is it saying to you? What is it saying to you? Okay. A kiss, then, is a tool of awakening. It lifts us out of our stagnant everyday and launches us into a strange new world that's brimming with possibility. An awakening, though, is more than just arousing from sleep, the interruption of a dream. An awakening is the moment when we first begin to understand something or feel something. It's the process of that something slowly emerging into our awareness, then expanding and intensifying, causing us to see the world in a different way. Such an awakening can be the most significant moment of our life, changing our perspective on the world and our place in it. What dream are you awakening from, and into what new world are you emerging? So I was in a world where I gave a lot, but I didn't receive a lot. And when I finally truly awakened and chose myself, I received all the love that I had been giving out. And I'm continuing to receive that more and more. And my world has changed completely, but in the best possible way. And it's still changing and growing, and it's so exciting. So the awakening is hard, but just keep moving. Just come closer to the edge. You don't know what's there, but you will fly. You will fly. And everything that you're asking for will come true. But you have to be willing to let the tower fall. You're probably going to get a tower in your reading. Libra got one too. Okay, so housekeeping. Let's see what this card wants to tell us. One of the major occupations of the average fairy tale heroine is housekeeping. In many stories, lost, neglected, or dispossessed girls are required to take care of menial tasks in the house or the castle. In some tales, housekeeping might be the task set for a younger woman by an older one, in return for wisdom, shelter, or some other necessary gift. The focus on domestic matters might seem on the surface to be reinforcing outdated gender roles and expectations. But it's important to remember that fairy tales are symbolic. And so what such tasks are suggesting is that the ability to keep your house in order is a critical skill, not just in your everyday physical surroundings, but in your life. I'm being called on to do that too now. But look, you're sorting. We all need to be able to make a clean sweep of things when necessary. We all need to undertake a little tidying up to mitigate the chaos of existence. Housekeeping and the ability to maintain order aren't the only accomplishments that are worth cultivating for a fairy tale heroine. More fluid ways of being in the world are important too, of course. But in the ever-shifting seasons of our lives, we need also to pay attention to such a grounded and grounding daily practice. Okay, so this, for me, I also found that in doing this, it was helping me to see what I truly valued. So I went through all of my books and I let go of the ones that didn't feel good to me anymore. And what I found, what I saw, what I noticed in that sorting process was that what was speaking to me now was the spiritual books, the higher realm books, the lighter books. And what was wanting to go was the heavy psychology, like, this is just for me, taking care of other people books. So that was interesting to me to see. So in these daily housekeeping tasks, what are you noticing about yourself? What are you noticing about what you value? What do you need to sweep away or put in order in your own life? And that was cool too, because like what I was taught was important was not what I felt was important. So it was realizing what order I wanted to put things in, not the order that everybody else told me to put it in. Like get up, go to work, go to the bank, go to the post office, fulfill all your responsibilities and obligations, and then have fun. No, I put my world in order and I put myself first. I enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning with my partner. That's the first thing I do. I prioritize that. Then I meditate. I clear my mind. I ask, what is in my highest best today? What is Spirit wanting me to do? What is my spirit wanting to do? I own that as me. Like, what does my spirit want from me today? And what does my spirit need from me today? And then I take a walk with my dog. I clear out more of that. I get more in from Spirit. I get messages from Spirit. And then I come in and I exercise, or I do something else in service of my spirit, so that everything becomes in service of my spirit. Even paying the bills becomes in service of my spirit and my higher calling. So it's restructuring and reordering your life with your spirit taking stage, front stage, center stage. Okay, and the key. This is going to be, wow, this is going to be a long reading. I am sorry, but maybe we don't do the Light Seers Tarot. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe it's just this. I'm going to just see what happens. 12 key. So you have the key. So I'm trying to keep this to a half hour, but that meant that you didn't get any of the Light Seers Tarot. We just did Oracle cards. But you know, sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes, maybe that is the message, you know, you don't know what it's going to be, but it is what you need. Okay. Sometimes we have to let go. Oh, that's the message. Sometimes we have to let go of what we think is supposed to happen to allow what needs to happen to take front and center. That's the message. I love when that happens. Okay, so in fairy tales, a key will unlock the door to a new life or to danger, but it will also unlock a mystery because above all, a key represents everything that we don't yet know. In this sense, it also represents possibility. Getting a tickle. What is tickling you? What is tickling your fancy? In this sense, it also represents possibility. To find a key is to find hope, the chance of a door that will help you to find your way out of a difficult predicament. Oh, before this, I got cards that were about asking Spirit, asking God, asking your higher self for help with a predicament. In the little-known Breton fairy tale, The Grouch of the Well, an old witch offers shelter in her cave to a young girl who needs a place of safety and respite. The girl is presented with two keys, one made of gold, the other of stone. The stone key provides access from outside, transitioning the girl from her everyday upper world reality and down into the depths of the otherworldly cave. Do you need to go inside and to find more information right now? The gold key opens the cave from the inside so that the girl might find her way out into the sunlight. In this way, it unlocks the portal into an adult world and eventually to the friendship of the young man she'll marry. The gold key then unlocks the inner door of her adult life and sets her free. So we were given these keys to doors that were not ours. They were stories of our ancestors, old stories. And we've been told that that's the way to be in the world. That's Hierophant energy, but also like structure and order. We've been given somebody else's order and structure. And what we need to do is to find our own. What key are you holding right now, and what does the door that it will unlock lead to? So you're doing all that work now. You're sorting. You're waking up to, this is not my reality. This is not what I want. And you're finding out what's important to you. And then you're going to choose that. You're going to take that key and open up that new life. And you don't know what it's going to hold. Okay, but I am going to get this. That's where this other deck was coming in. I knew that it was. So we're not doing tarot, but we will do this Inner Temple Oracle. And hopefully we're only going to get one card here because I would like to wrap it up. But that's going to give you a little bit of an idea of where you're at in terms of this. And maybe some inner strength. To do all this work that's very difficult. It's difficult. Acknowledge that in yourself. But your voice needs to be heard in this world. When I'm going back to that. You're expressing something from your soul, from your spirit, that this world needs. And it's coming from Source, your higher self, God. Okay. This is going to be the last card. And I think we got more than one. Oh, wow. These are good cards. We got the Chamber of Inspiration, and it looks like you're a good manifester, and the Chamber of Manifestation. So it looks like whatever it is you're imagining is going to come to fruition pretty quickly. But let's just see what these cards have to say. These are a new deck for me too, so I am going to read you that. Chamber of Inspiration. Okay, and that's from this deck has 4 suits. This is the Chamber suit. Oh, both of these are Chamber cards, though. Chamber of Inspiration. Oh, wait, maybe not. Yeah. I'm just not finding it. Oh, there it is. It's on page 44. This is the card of divine inspiration and creativity. Your ideas are divinely guided. They're coming from source, and you're being encouraged to follow those sparks of inspiration from within. There are creations that are beckoning to be born. Co-create with life and bring them into form. What's inspiring you right now, and how can you follow that inspirational trail? We are creative beings living in a creative world. Life itself is creative, and it's always creating every moment of every day. And because you're part of life, you're always creating too. Many people believe that they're not creative, but to be alive is to be creative. To create is to put things together. For something new to be born. A moment earlier, that creation didn't exist. And you're the only one who can do this. Bring your creation to life. What an amazing thing creativity is. This card can be a confirmation to tend to those seeds of inspiration you've become aware of. It could indicate an exciting new creative project or a period of wonderful creative expression. It's a period of wonderful creative expression. Tend the seeds of inspiration that are budding and blooming within you. The soul longs to create. The moment you feel stuck, trapped, or captive, you cut yourself off from spirit and creativity. When you feel free and allow yourself time and space to play, and for your inner child to roam free, inspiration will bubble up from within. What inspiration have you had recently? What ideas have been beckoning you forth? Those are the pounding. Do you hear that? This card is encouraging you to trust your inspiration and your imagination to act on the inspiration. Your creations are inviting you to bring them into form. And I feel like you're getting them now, because did you hear? It's quiet now. They're coming in. Okay, and then you have the Chamber of Manifestation. What dream does your soul have that you'd like to bring to life? This card often appears when something you've been dreaming into being is coming into form or has arrived. You've already been doing this. It's just asking you to come to the edge and receive. It could involve a relationship, a job, a creation, a change in your life. Your vision and action are about to be rewarded, and now or very soon you'll get to enjoy the fruit. Don't put off the celebration and enjoyment of the fruit. Receive and relish it fully. Enjoy your creations when they're here, and resist rushing on to the next thing. Enjoy your creations. There's no rush, for if you can't enjoy what you've been working toward creating, what's even the point? How can you embrace your existing creations fully? How can you celebrate and be grateful for what you already have? Receive and celebrate the fullness of what you've created before moving on to anything else. The key to calling in more enjoyment is to enjoy the process. Spring teaches us this with its bud so full of promise and the surging energy so full of life and possibility. The energy of a new moon holds these promising seeds too. Create space in your life to whisper your wildest dreams under the light of the new moon. Do it from a place of being in the joy of the present moment. Enjoy each part of the process of your becoming. For if you don't, by the time your manifestation comes into form, you may find that you miss the moment completely because of being so consumed by what you want to manifest next. What do you most want to create in your life, and how can you be grateful for the present moment as you do so? So it is, and so you remember.